The day my family buried me, I was sitting 12,000 miles away in a hospital bed, staring at a television screen. My name is Ethan Carter. I was 38 years old. And according to every newspaper in America, I was dead. The anchor smiled politely as my picture appeared on the screen. Technology entrepreneur Ethan Carter, founder of Carter Robotics, tragically lost his life after his private helicopter disappeared over the Pacific Ocean. Family members held a memorial service today. I nearly dropped the remote. Because I hadn't boarded that helicopter. 3 days earlier, I had canceled my flight to Japan after suffering severe food poisoning during a business conference in Hawaii. My assistant booked me into a private clinic. My phone was destroyed after falling into the ocean while I was vomiting near the docks. Nobody could reach me. Only one person knew I was alive. Dr. Samuel Brooks. He promised to contact my office after I recovered. But someone intercepted every message. At first I believed it was just terrible luck. I was wrong. It was the beginning of the biggest betrayal of my life. My younger brother Ryan cried during my memorial. My sister Olivia fainted dramatically in front of reporters. My stepmother hugged everyone while wearing designer sunglasses worth more than most people's monthly salaries. Millions watched their heartbreaking speeches online. Not one tear was real. Because 24 hours after my death, Ryan became CEO. Olivia received control of my voting shares. And my stepmother inherited my house. Everything happened unbelievably fast. Almost like they had prepared for it. Dr. Brooks finally managed to borrow another doctor's satellite phone. He contacted an old friend of mine, Detective Marcus Hale. Marcus flew to Hawaii immediately. When he entered my hospital room, he looked like he'd seen a ghost. Ethan, you've got about 5 minutes before I explain why your family is committing corporate theft. Marcus placed a folder on my lap. Inside were legal documents, my death certificate, transfer papers, emergency board resolutions, bank authorizations. Everything had already been signed. There was only one problem. Several signatures were impossible. Someone had forged every document. Very professionally. Marcus leaned closer. It gets worse. He slid another photograph toward me. It showed Ryan standing inside my office, opening my private wall safe. Only 3 people knew that safe existed. Me, Ryan, and Dad. Dad had died 5 years earlier. Which meant Ryan had planned this long before the helicopter story. I returned to America secretly. No airport. No media. Marcus arranged everything. For 2 weeks I lived inside a small apartment owned by the FBI's financial crimes consultant. Every day we investigated. Every day the evidence became uglier. Ryan wasn't acting alone. Olivia had transferred millions into shell companies. My stepmother sold family properties far below market value. The buyers? Companies they secretly owned. They were draining everything before anyone discovered the truth. Then Marcus uncovered the real shock. The helicopter hadn't crashed accidentally. Someone had paid a mechanic to tamper with the fuel monitoring system. The pilot noticed the malfunction before takeoff. He refused to fly. The trip was cancelled. But because I never arrived at the airport, everyone assumed I had boarded another helicopter. The fake disappearance was almost too perfect. Someone had expected me to die. When I didn't. They simply declared me dead anyway. Marcus asked the question nobody wanted answered. When did your family first know you cancelled your flight? I froze. Only one person knew. Ryan. He had called me that morning. He insisted I should still travel despite feeling sick. Now it made sense. He expected me to board anyway. 3 weeks later, Carter Robotics announced its annual Innovation Gala. Every investor, every executive, every journalist in Silicon Valley would attend. Ryan planned to reveal himself as the company's permanent CEO. The ballroom glittered with crystal chandeliers. Champagne flowed freely. Ryan smiled confidently on stage. My brother built this company with passion. He paused dramatically. I promised to honor his legacy. Everyone applauded. Then the ballroom doors opened. The applause stopped instantly. I walked inside wearing the same navy blue suit from the day they declared me dead. One woman screamed. Several champagne glasses shattered. Ryan's face lost every drop of color. Olivia whispered only 2 words. Impossible. Reporters rushed toward me. Cameras flashed non-stop. Ryan tried smiling. Ethan. This must be some misunderstanding. I looked directly into the television cameras. No misunderstanding. I'm very much alive. Silence filled the ballroom. Then I asked one question. So, who signed my death certificate? Nobody moved. Ryan finally recovered. He laughed nervously. This is wonderful. My brother survived. He opened his arms for a hug. I stepped backward. I don't hug people who steal $8 million. The room exploded with whispers. Investors began checking their phones. Board members looked horrified. Ryan's confident smile disappeared forever. Marcus entered through another door. This time he wasn't alone. Federal agents followed behind him. One carried evidence boxes. Another held financial records. Marcus addressed the crowd calmly. We are executing federal warrants regarding corporate fraud, identity theft, wire fraud, conspiracy, and forgery. Nobody spoke. Then agents walked directly toward Ryan. Olivia suddenly stood. You can't arrest him without proof. Marcus smiled. We have proof. A massive projector behind the stage turned on. Security footage appeared. Ryan opening my office safe. Olivia transferring company money overseas. My stepmother signing forged inheritance documents. Date after date. Transaction after transaction. The ballroom became completely silent. Ryan panicked. You planted this. Marcus shook his head. No. You recorded it yourselves. Ryan frowned. Marcus continued. You forgot your security system automatically backed up everything to an off-site cloud server. Ryan slowly sat down. He finally understood. Deleting office cameras hadn't deleted the backups. Then came the biggest twist. I walked toward the microphone. My father wasn't as trusting as everyone believed. The audience stared. He secretly suspected someone inside the family would eventually betray the company. I removed a small silver key from my pocket. My father created something called the Legacy Vault. Nobody knew what I meant. Until a lawyer entered carrying a sealed metal case. Inside was Dad's original handwritten letter. Along with years of private recordings, business journals, financial instructions, and one signed statement. Read. If Ethan is ever reported dead without independent verification, immediately freeze every family inheritance because I believe someone close to him is responsible. The lawyer looked at Ryan. Your father wrote this 7 years ago. Ryan collapsed into his chair. The Legacy Vault contained something else. Every family member's secret profit-sharing agreement. Dad had quietly inserted one hidden clause. Anyone convicted of fraud against another family member automatically forfeited every inheritance dollar. Everything. Homes. Trust funds. Investments. Vacation properties. All gone. Legally. Irrevocably. Ryan whispered. He planned for this. 6 months later. Ryan accepted a plea deal and received 12 years in federal prison. Olivia lost her accounting license permanently. My stepmother declared bankruptcy after every fraudulent asset was seized. Carter Robotics recovered every stolen dollar. Our stock price actually increased because investors praised the transparency. People still ask whether I hated my family. The answer surprises them. Well, hatred gives betrayers power. Justice takes it away. Every year I visit my father's grave. I place fresh flowers beside the stone. Then I smile. Because the man everyone underestimated won the final battle years after he was gone. And the family who buried me alive ended up burying their own future instead.